Hello everybody and welcome to Tips December Day 7. This is my third take on the video because Muffy keeps singing like crazy, so fingers crossed that he won't do a big deal. Anyways, today I wanted to talk about my top 6 favorite tinted moisturizers slash BB creams. Basically those are the products that either I use as a primer or I use when I don't need really that much coverage or I just don't want to bother applying the whole routine on my face. Starting with the first one, Shu Uemura BB Perfector. This is the original formula, the one that there was only one shade before. Now they're selling 3 shades, and I was told by the Shu Uemura makeup artist that this one, in this formulation, they actually have a lighter shade than the one that I'm holding in my hands. Don't quote me on that, it could be that she was wrong, but that's what I was told. Now when I swatched in the store, I didn't really see a big difference, but maybe there is. So you try it if you have access to it. Anyways, this is what the shade looks like. I know that it is a bit darker than my skin tone, or a lot darker, but on the face it doesn't oxidize as much, and I love so much the formula and the coverage and the finish that I'm willing to overlook the fact that it's not really my match. But it is around NC15 in MAC, maybe a hair lighter, so that gives you an idea how light I am. And yeah, so I really like it. It's very good if you have combination to oily skin. Yeah, I don't know, I really enjoyed it. It has a medium full coverage, so I feel like this pretty much covers everything. Of course it won't cover like a full coverage foundation, but it does have a high coverage. Next one is one that was, whoops, I apologize, I'm a mess. Next one is the one that was my first purchased on my own Laura Mercier product when I went for the first time to London, which was over 3 years ago, and I still have some left. Is the Laura Mercier Tinted Moisturizer, the illuminating version. Sorry. And the shade is Bare Radiance, which is their lightest shade. Now again, this one isn't really exactly a super light tinted moisturizer. It is light for many people. It's considered as a light tinted moisturizer, like light shaded, but in my standards it isn't really that light. There it is. But as you can see, it has a glow. It has such a beautiful glow. I'm not sure if you can tell. It's gorgeous. And well, if it's blended, well, I mean, yeah, I know that you can see it, but it is absolutely beautiful. And yeah, I love it, and that's why I have it. Not necessarily because it's my total match. Basically, this is like an NC15. Again, we are on the same range. But on the face, it oxidizes slightly less than on the hand. Keep in mind that on the hand, it tends to oxidize maybe a hair more because there is no moisturizer, there is no primer, there is nothing, so it's just bare skin. And anyways, I love it. Next one is from Hourglass Illusion, the tinted moisturizer, and this is the shade Shell. Now, I'm made aware that they have made a lighter shade than this one called Vanilla. I haven't tried it, so I can't tell you how much lighter it is. From the reports that I've heard from people is that it's not really quite that light yet. So if you're NW10 and you're hoping to have this one made of your match, I don't think that's gonna be the case. But anyways, here it is. Let's see. There it is. As you can see, again, it's quite dark. It is like Studio Sculpt in NC15, so if you're good with that shade, this one should be pretty much a good match. I'm sorry, now he's there. There he is. You see him? Anyways, I like this one because it has, again, it is sort of like on the same vein than this one, except that this has much more coverage and is less, it makes your skin less oily over time because it's oil free and it controls oil, but at the same time it's glowy. It has the same sort of glow as the Laura Mercier, maybe toned down a little bit, but not that much. But anyways, I love it. Oh, and it has, I'm sorry, he's roosting. It has slightly higher coverage than the Laura Mercier one, or I would say much more coverage than the Laura Mercier one. Next is one that's my holy grail, and this is my second container. Probably I'll go for a third or fourth and whatnot. But is the Kiehls Actively Correcting and Beautifying BB Cream in the shade Fair. Again, this isn't my exact match because it is really hard to find good matches when you're extremely pale. But there it is. And as you can see from all of them, this is the lightest that I have showed you so far. This one, I'm not sure if you can tell, it has a slight gray base. So it oxidizes less. So you can see the shade isn't changing that much. And this is about an NCNW, I would say 12, something like that. 12 to 13. So it's a hair lighter than all what I've shown you so far. And I really like it because although it has a light to medium coverage, it really gives a nice glow, and it has, at least for me, it was a good sunscreen. If I applied, if on days that it's just not that much sun, then I would use this. And also I like the fact that it has very, very high concentrations of vitamin C for a BB cream. So I don't know, when I use this, I can see a difference in my skin opposed to other BB creams. Next is the Chantecaille Just Skin Tinted Moisturizer in Alabaster. When I bought this, I thought that this would be very, very light, but unfortunately it's not that light, but it is the lightest from what I've shown you so far. So yeah, there it is. As you can see, this starts to be more of an, it's closer to NC10, but it's still, well, it's maybe a hair too yellow for me. Anyways, this tends to oxidize, so it can lift up to an NC 11, 12, up to 13, depending on your skin and whatnot. But anyways, this is very nice, but it doesn't have that great of a coverage. It's more of a, I would say, a light coverage. It gives, what it does is, this reminds me a bit of the MAC Face and Body Foundation. It gives that almost that same plastic look to the face. It doesn't set like the MAC Face and Body, but it gives like I don't know. I usually call it Botox glow because people that use Botox tend to have sort of a glow on their skin as a byproduct. I don't know if it's Botox or no, it's not fillers because I've seen the fillers. I think it's the Botox. It gives sort of a glow. So this is what it looks like, at least to me. That's what it reminds me of. It doesn't last that long if you have very dry skin, but if you have combination skin, then it will look like that pretty much the entire day. And yeah, it is like a thick gel in consistency. Finally, one that I have a love and hate relationship with is the Iredale Glow Time BB cream. It's a full coverage and it's in BB1. Now, that's what I'm wearing today on my face, and I've set it a little bit with Laura Mercier Mineral Powder in Soft Porcelain. But basically, the coverage that you can see is what you get with this, with a very light application. Now, I would not go full coverage with this. It looks so cakey. It's amazing. Like, it's impressively cakey. And do not use this if you have any kind of dry patches or you know, dry pimples or whatever, because it will make them look way, way worse. So this is what I use when my skin looks good or looks okay and I don't really need much. And usually I go with a very, very light application, because otherwise it feels heavy and it looks heavy. It tends to crease and cake and melt, and everything bad about it starts to come out when you apply layer after layer. So I would go with a very light application, but oh, it smells good. Let's see, I'm gonna apply here. You don't need that much. I'm not sure if you can see, that's there, and blend it out. Well, it's pretty much close to my skin tone. But yeah, this is close, I would say, what could I say? It's very, very close to the Alabaster white that they're having. It's not as white, it has more of a flesh tone and a gray base, and it's weird shade, but I would say it's an NCNW 0507, somewhere in between there. It is way lighter than NW or NC10, but it is not quite close to white. So yeah, I really like it. I especially also like it as a primer. I usually use this if I need to brighten up any other foundation, because this really brightens the skin if you don't apply too many layers. Otherwise, if you apply too many layers, it's gonna look like a cake ghost. It's not cute. But yeah, anyways, I really, really enjoy it. They have other shades as well, so they have warmer shades than this one. If you're not quite as ghostly, they do have a next shade and a next one, which I think is like NC 12 or 10, and then NC 15, like NCNW 15 or something like that. I don't know. But anyways, I really, really like this, and probably I'm gonna purchase like the concealer and all the other goodies from this brand. Anyways, I hope this was anyhow helpful, and let me know in the comments down below which one are your top, I don't know, top 3, top 5, top 6 Tinted moisturizers or BB creams, and I'll talk to you tomorrow. Bye bye!